This talk is about designing live media experiences for social VR. I'd like you to think about the last entertainment event you went to. Was there anything unique about the experience? Where were you? How did you feel? Did you interact with the people around you? If there was one, did you interact with a performer, or were you watching content on a screen? These are some of the questions I think about with my work. I think a lot about new forms of entertainment that utilize the advantages of being in VR. I'm Osabo, and I'm a product design lead on Venues. Let's check out the experience. If you're like me, you spend a lot of time going to live events, whether it's a comedy show, a movie, a concert. You love the feeling of shared experience with other people. But there's a lot that goes into creating shared experience around media, especially ones that feel alive and in the context of VR. The medium is still early. And today we use VR to emulate experiences that we have in real life and try to make them better than the real thing. Through the environment, the avatars around us, the content we experience, and the social interactions we have. But there's a lot of unknowns for how to approach designing live media experiences for social VR, so that's what this talk is about today. There are two things I want you to take away from this. First, VR is changing the way we experience media together. We'll take a look at some examples across platforms, and then we'll focus on how media in VR has the power to connect people across distances by taking a look at how we approach designing venues, the experience I'm most familiar with. And in the context of venues, we'll focus on two aspects of the experience: the social interactions and the environments. Experiencing media online has become increasingly popular due to COVID-19. In-person events worldwide have been canceled, and people need to fill their inherent need for social connection. So let's take this event, for example. Facebook's first virtual conference can be experienced across platforms on web, mobile, and VR. Looking at mobile and web, we experience live media together on Facebook Live, Instagram, and Twitch, generally streaming platforms, and those are a few to name. But what makes these experiences so unique is the live social interactions viewers have with a broadcaster or a performer. These experiences exist on mobile and web, generally as linear chat feeds or video. They capture as much communication that is possible on a 2D surface. Media experiences in VR allow for more robust synchronous communication than what is possible on any 2D surface or even real life. VR supports multiple formats for video, specifically rectilinear content, 180 and 360 video, but also enables embodied live avatars. Instead of viewers communicating with a performer or a broadcaster through a chat feed, they're able to talk to them in real time in an embodied format, either through video or being in the same environment as the avatar. We've seen this in experiences like The Under Presents The Tempest, where a live actor guides the audience through this immersive, fantastical, theatrical experience. And for video, we've seen examples in experiences like Big Screen that use remote desktop to allow broadcasters to interact with the audience with very low latency in a rectilinear video format. Beyond the synchronous social interactions between broadcasters and the audience, platforms use the environment to make the experience feel much more alive. We've seen some mind-blowing examples through the way VR's performances on 2D surfaces and in VR with artists like The Weeknd and Tinashe to Fortnite's performances with Marshmello and Travis Scott. Taking our focus areas of social interactions and the environments into account, let's take a look at how we approach them in venues. This conference is available to experience in the new version of Venues. We've used learnings from research and feedback from the community on the first iteration of the product to create an experience that has new environments that afford for more social and immersive experience. I'm giving this talk as my avatar because people often feel more connected to a performer if they have a similar look, even if they aren't in the same environment. Venues allows people to experience content like comedy, or a concert or sports like the NBA and even esports, which are all possible to view in real life. However, the experience in venues allows you to connect with people around the world in a virtual environment without leaving the comfort of your home. We focus on creating an experience that is familiar, but defies what is possible in real life or any other medium. We've seen some of the highest concurrency on the Oculus platform from venues events, bringing thousands of people concurrently into VR. So let's talk about how to create an event where people watch immersive content together. This is a person who is waiting in the lobby to attend an event. They're here because they're a fan of the content. They're interested in discovering new content. They're interested in meeting up with new people, or they have people that they're already meeting up with. But the core here is, if you want to create an experience that allows for new connection, people need to be able to identify one another. So in the new version of venues, people can customize their look before heading straight to an event or the public lobby where they can meet up with friends or make new ones. People need landmarks to congregate around, and they can help people actually understand the world around them and coordinate spots to meet up with other people. We know that people attending social events want to feel a sense of belonging with the audience, the people around them. So the next step to deepening this connection is through shared experience. We can create a shared experience through social interactions, the environment, and the content itself. If you're designing for social VR, you want to focus on interactions that connect people. To facilitate meaningful connection, we're very careful about density. We stray away from greater groups of 80 to 150 people, making identification and reciprocation a lot easier. Right now in venues, we focus on audience interactions, ones that are only possible between 2 or more people. Some examples we see in venues include high-fiving or fist-bumping people. Other experiences like the Wave have props and other set dressing that allows people to interact with one another, but only can be triggered if 2 or more people are using whatever prop it may be. But in venues, if you were to trigger one of these actions like a fist bump or a high five, VFX is actually triggered, which causes moments of delights and is only possible in VR and not real life. People can show reciprocity through a thumbs up gesture or even throwing your hands in the air to trigger confetti, like this. And in the environment, you may want to create a social standing area or a tiered seating area where people can station themselves and have a more focused viewing experience, depending on the content. Adding VFX, such as video illumination, afford for a much more immersive experience. This definitely works for video formats ranging from rectilinear to monoscopic 180 video, which is what Venue supports today. After the event, people can return to the lobby and discover more upcoming events. The lobby creates a place for social discovery and repeated interaction. Welcome back. I hope this talk was able to outline how VR is changing the way we experience media, specifically in venues. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Also, take a moment to check out the panel on creating live performances in social VR. And continue watching Talks in Venues if you can, and subscribe to some upcoming events. Thank you.